It's been already a few days since our perception of the world and our sensitivities have been separated from the ongoing genius of David Lynch, who regularly was reminding us of his unique way of looking at the world. Now, having said what I just said, I realize that perhaps it is not the case that we've been separated, because his unique contribution to our sensitivities, I think, could stay with us and will stay with us, and it's up to us to what extent and how much of that will actually remain. That brings me to the idea of important meetings in real life or on the screen that shape our sensitivities and our way of thinking about reality. In my life, I had few of them. Two actually come to mind right now. One was only through the screen, and that's David Lynch, and another one was through meeting and working with a fabulous film editor. And both of those meetings created, I think, incredibly deep change in the way I think about the projects. I'm not sure to what extent actually it transpires into the reality of what I'm doing. Hopefully, yes. But whenever I think about doing something, if I try to put myself into their way of thinking, I think different things come out. And in terms of David Lynch, I think that it's very important for this channel to stress that he was a thinking director. When you hear him talk, it's very often about chasing ideas. And then when you see how he set up the ways to solve the puzzle for Mulholland Drive, it actually brings everything down to the way of coexistence between various concepts, maybe not ideas in terms of fully developed takes on reality that have the beginning, the middle, and the end, and therefore there are sort of theses, but concepts. According to what he was doing in his explanation on DVD to Mulholland Drive, he was actually organizing the structure by butting concepts against each other. That's a sizable way of thinking, I think. So whenever I think about him, I would immediately switch to the way the color is being used, the space, and of course the context of different scenes, and the idea of looking for something that is actually buried underneath the way we look at the planet, at the reality. But it's very cerebral, and it has to take some effort on my part, and it doesn't feel organic because I haven't met him, because I haven't had any interaction with him, aside from one point where a producer who knows him thought that one of my scripts was actually sort of Lynchian, and he said that he would take it to him to Los Angeles, but I don't think that it happened. So anyway, that brings me to the idea that there is a certain potential yearning in my attempts to sort of go where he was and still is, a king. But it's again very mechanical. You know, I think that there is a huge difference between the impressions that we get from trying to get into some sort of sensitivities through work of art, and when we actually get enriched by meeting real people. That's actually amazing. And I keep looking at careers of various people who became great in what they are doing after they met people who became great in what they are doing after they met geniuses, period. Somewhat meeting with those great sensitivities, bundles of energy and insight, helped them tremendously in their own path, artistic path. But that's only because of this personal connection. The other example of my outlook being influenced by some event outside of my experience was meeting with this above mentioned film editor. And now when all I need to do is I have to go and say, okay, Pani Agnieszko, what would you do? And the answer comes. It's just amazing. It's a different kind of connection. There is a connection. Whereas I don't think that there is a really connection between me and the great filmmakers. It's just my admiration and an attempt to pay my respect. One of the ways that I've been paying my respect is that I've been struggling with this project for years now, a portrait of Richard Schusterman, and it's a difficult project. It maybe is going to be released soon, maybe through the internet. Was that I couldn't really get through him for various reasons, and at the same time I sense that there is some mystery and some unspoken depth in his psyche and personality. And I brought into the project a colleague of mine to do a scene, a fictitious scene, where Richard Schusterman is talking to somebody who is a Hollywood, we assume, film director, who wants to have Richard in his movie. And the guy who is this Hollywood film director is kind of, in my mind, a David Lynch-like character. And why did I do this? Why did I actually go after this guy who's sort of maybe resembling David Lynch? Simply because I thought that this mystery that I sense in my hero, the subject of my documentary, he will be able to unlock it. So anyway, that's my reaction to the sad departure of the maestro, and that's how it goes.